was a win. So let's look at the area. This is a recon day. My son says a tree cracked across the creek. Gotta take a look at it. Of course I could walk, but that wouldn't be any fun. This is where it got stuck. And this is probably over 2.5 feet of snow. This is where I blow the snow. Look at how neat a job it does blowing the snow in here as opposed to plowing. But too deep. You can see the bottom of the Ranger is scraping, and I got stuck. Of course, that's why we have a winch. Luckily there was a tree close enough. If I had to, have to get the excavator warmed up to pull it out, but I didn't have to do that. Let's see if I can get around the rest of the property. Here's the other area where I got stuck. Again, it's where I blow snow, and it's bottoming out. I think it has maybe 13 inches of ground clearance, 12. Anyways, it's bottoming out. Man, see how hard that is? And then I went around here, and further away from, I guess, from that spot, it gets more like 20 plus inches of snow. Not as deep. Rear decals look nice on the machine, don't they? This is the tree my son was talking about. This branch has been overhanging the creek for a long time, and you can see it's got a split in the middle of it. Actually, there is some leaves on the top of those branches, the sprouts coming out the side in the summertime. You can see the snow we're dealing with in western New York. Now I get to the bottom of this little ravine. Interesting, it may have split. So I was going to possibly take this down with the excavator, but I think it's just the snow is too deep. Look at how it split in the center, and the end of it is dead, if you can see that. So my plan was to get the excavator up here and cut it from the island side, and then grab it with the excavator and bring it over and maybe chip it right in place, or split it right in place. And we can see it split there. I'm not sure if that looks like a split, or I'm not sure if it's a piece of wood that fell off the upper part of the tree. And believe it or not, these look like blooming onions, don't they? It actually is alive. This is how they grow, and eventually those pieces that are cantilevered off the main trunk do die. Like you can see, that one is dead up there, and I really should trim these. I think trimming the lower big branches or stalks that come off will help the tree from blowing over in a storm or ice storm. So I don't think it's split there. I think that's a piece of wood that fell off the upper part of the tree, but I do think that's definitely split in the center. And when the snow conditions get a little better, I think I am going to cut that down. The good thing is I could have maybe walked across the creek. It does look frozen. I really want to drive around and look at the property, but it's beaten up. This thing is spinning tires like crazy. So I don't think I'm doing much work today, but at least you can see how that is in deeper snow. Again, I think this snow, when I did my play video with a ranger playing in the snow, I think this was about maybe 14 inches deep. It's probably almost 3 feet of snow that's compacted down to 2 feet, 20 inches of snow. And she's spinning her tires. So as much as I want to be outside today, I don't think I am. I like to be using a machine, but it's about 22 degrees. This thing's having a hard time getting around, and I don't think I'm going to push it. So I'll check on the emergency generator I had installed. We'll stop over there and see if any snow needs to be cleared away from that. Then we'll put her inside. Beautiful, beautiful day. almost dumped the camera again. She does smell hot. I don't think the belt was burning, but it was getting warm. The cover, I can touch the cover. Oh, that's not the exhaust hose. Here's the exhaust. That's a little warm coming out of there. Smelled a little rubber, but I don't think it was slipping. The belt was slipping at all. I had it in low, and it wasn't all-wheel drive. It's so new. It could have been, that's my bad shoulder. It's so new, it could have been the new burning off the engine components and exhaust components. At least you can see how the Polaris Ranger 1000 XP Trail Boss Northstar Edition is in deep snow. I wouldn't go much deeper than what I went in with today, and in fact I would never take it out on a trail in snow that deep. It was just working too hard. But for a little throttle cruise around my backyard to see how the snow is on this recon tree mission, I don't think it hurt anything. Again, my number one accessory on an off-road, whether it's an ATV, side-by-side UTV, is a winch. Even around my property, it's very handy. That's Polaris's 4,500 pound winch. I have it on my Razor Pro, and it does have the auto stop on it, and the cordless fob that you use to control it works really well. You can see snow is in the rock sliders and in the rims. It's just all over. I hope you like the way this sticker is. Really adds a lot to the back, doesn't it? I missed that in my other videos. Another great accessory. That was on my 2006 Ranger. Found the bill of sales for it. My verdict's out on these tires. There's 15 PSI in the rear tires. There's 10 in the front tires. You wouldn't think that's so crazy pressure on them, but they are so darn hard. They are radials, I believe. They are a radial tire. They're not DAT, they're 8-ply R, so they're 8-ply radials. They're the Pro Armor tires, which I've heard is the Polaris brand. They're just so darn hard. I'd like to let some air out of them. Maybe I should the next time I take it out in the snow. Maybe drop the rears to 13 and the fronts to 8. I don't think you're going to miss it. It's just such a hard tire. You can see the rear doesn't even flex. Okay guys, that's the end of this video. We'll sign off. We'll see how much my data is saved on this GoPro and how these Enduro batteries work out. Have a great night. Thank you very much. I hope to see you on the trail. Be safe and respect each other. Oh, by the way, some of you ask, does it keep it warm enough? The heat will drive you out of the cab in that. It's 22 degrees. It could be 0 degrees. That cab just heats up. The same on my Bobcat E42 R2, in my John Deere 3046R. Those cabs, the heater and air conditioning, is just amazing how well it works. Oh, I got my car back. I need to do a follow-up video on that. I never really did a video on that car. I had it, it was gone 5 months. Couldn't, of course, everything that's going on, couldn't get the parts for it. Dealer did an amazing job, their collision shop, in doing the car. I'll do an updated video on that. By the way, the injuries I have from that accident are subsiding. So just work our way through it. That's life, right? Could be a lot worse.